Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. Today, I have a very special guest with me today. She is a nail artist. She's the owner of True Artist Nail Studio. Please welcome Maria Quesada. Hello, Maria. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I want to go ahead and ask, where are you originally from, and tell us about your upbringing.
So I'm from Washington State originally, from a little island, little hippie island, like graduating class of like 100 people, like tiny, tiny,
Mhm.
small town. So I definitely grew up small town vibes, chill vibes. And then now I'm living in South Carolina, but basically just grew up, I have six brothers. So predominantly male household, but I'm the oldest of all of them. I'm the oldest and I'm the only girl.
Wow.
So yeah, so you can only imagine my upbringing.
Now,
But
did you have any interests, like, prior to nails, possibly?
any interests?
Yeah, previous interests before getting into
Um,
nails.
so before I was doing nails, I actually worked as a mechanic at Boeing. So I used to
Mhm.
help build the airplanes. Before that, I've always been interested in, like, I used to build houses in Washington before I moved to South Carolina. So I've always been honestly into manual labor. I don't know why. I liked building things. And so it's funny to see it translated into nails, like the things that I've learned. But no, I really used to just be like a hands-on person. Never really was into art too much. So I'm still shocked about what I'm doing today.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
understandable. So, what was like your school experience like? Did you go to college? What was your experience in terms
So
of
I
preschool?
did some after high school. I think I took like a year and a half off, gap year, and then I went to community college for about a year. I probably took a
Mhm.
year's worth of classes, and then I up and moved to South Carolina like a week out. I bought a ticket. I was like, I'm done with this small town. So I left my family. Some of my family had already moved here. So I left and just, I don't know. I just quit school. I started
Mhm.
working at Boeing like in a few months. I was worked there for 2 years, and then during COVID is when I stopped and started doing nails.
Mhm.
So I think I don't know. It was everybody was doing nails online at home, and so I was like, I'm just corporate world right now is just not it with this COVID mess. So I was like, let me try
Right.
something. And I literally was practicing for 6 months, and then I went to nail school, and then 3 years later, here I am. Here
Yeah,
I
that's really. Yeah, go ahead.
I said, here I am. So, I mean, my school experience for nail school, I feel like it's kind of the same to most nail techs I've, met is that you're there for what, 5, 6 months, you learn the basics, and then they're like, okay, you're on your own. So a
Right.
lot of it was definitely self-teaching, a lot of self-teaching. So I was doing nails for about 6 months before I went to nail school. So I kind of just, YouTube, thank goodness for YouTube, young nail videos, stuff like that. And then I went to school, and basically even there, I still was pretty much teaching myself.
Mhm.
So, but hey, that's just how it is, I guess. For most of us, it's not that much. You learn, the sanitary and, stuff like that. But like to be good, like they don't even really cover nail art too much. So a
Mhm.
lot of it is just me teaching myself, watching my own videos, doing live classes, online classes, stuff like that. So, but yeah, that was 3 years ago now.
Mhm. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about your salon called True Artist Studio.
Yes.
So, tell us the experience of owning your own salon, but also tell us about some of the obstacles you faced while building your salon.
Oh my goodness. It's been a whirlwind. It was like I never, well, when I first started doing nails, I wasn't sure that I wanted to ever own a studio or a salon and have multiple
Mhm.
people. But where I am at in the services that I do, I just couldn't service everybody. And I felt bad that there wasn't other good options. So
Mhm.
I really wanted to create this space in the first place to be able to give more people what they deserve when they come and sit down for a nail appointment and be
Mhm.
happy at the end and be treated well. And so the biggest thing for me was finding people who either already have the same morals and values and training or who's
Mhm.
willing to take on, what I want, them to offer. So a
Right.
lot of the
Mhm.
girls are under my wing, and so it's a lot of training, but opening the studio, I think the biggest obstacle is just all the paperwork, like all the different business licensing. And then it's like not one website has all the answers of how to do it. So it's like you're calling. And I think that was like the most stressful
Mhm.
part was just getting like all the pieces of paper, the right licenses, the right insurance. That was like the biggest headache. But we literally just had our grand opening party yesterday and officially like seasoned the place a little bit. And so it's been really good now that like we're starting to get like a flow. But I got the space in June. So just getting up and running has been like the most stress. Like you don't think about all the details, but then it's like as you're going, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about this. Then you got to get this, and then you need this, and then
Right.
it's crazy. Then commission or booth rent, like there's just a lot, and you have to do a lot of research. And that's been like the most part. Like just not knowing everything. You know, like, you go over it a little bit in nail school, but not to the extent of like what you actually go through. Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. Congrats on the grand opening.
Thank you. Yes. I know like we've been actually open like for about a month, but I was like, we just need to start taking clients. We need to bring money in. And so we'll worry about the party later. So I'm excited that we actually got to enjoy it, celebrate, have a toast. So it was good.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So I want to get into this other topic. So in a post where you talked about finding junior nail techs for your salon, you mentioned in the video portion in that post about mentoring other nail techs. So with being a salon owner and considering the lack of education in the beauty and nail school industry, the nail education system, how important is mentoring / on the job training and making sure that nail techs that are new to the industry, know the trick of the trade of the nail industry?
I think as a business owner, when you're are going to manage a salon, you do have to care about what they are doing. Like a lot of places don't, but like the big thing is you can't expect them to know everything because it took me 3 years to like, so I'm like, the fact that I'm mentoring them and they're open to it, it's like, it's really important because not only do I have a higher standard than most your typical walk-in salons, and we do specialized services that most salons don't offer. So it's definitely like, it's really important to, as a business owner, know the standard that you're setting and make sure that there is like, it's consistent. And so you do have to take it upon yourself to teach them because you can't expect everybody to know. And a lot of the girls that have found me, other places got rid of them in a week, even though they knew they were right out of school, but because they didn't know what the expectations were and they just let them go instead of like giving them a pointer. Like they literally don't help these girls or anybody. So I just wanted to not only be able to educate, but also talk about the other sides of the business that people don't really think of, which is like, yeah, you can sit there and do good nails, but it's going to be hard to get clients if you don't know marketing, if you don't know how to like take good pictures of your nails and like have a profile. So I think if you're going to own a salon, you have to be like educating somewhat or bringing someone in that can help educate.
Right.
Because if you want everybody to learn and to do it the right way, they have to know and they have to learn and they have to be open to learning. So, when I interviewed everybody, I wanted them to make sure like, hey, as long as you're good to taking some criticism, some constructive criticism, like one-on-one classes. So usually all the girls, they get like one class with me on every service before they even touch a client, even if they've been doing nails for years, because a lot of places don't practice good stuff in the beginning. So they have bad habits. But they don't know any better. They just know what they've been around. And if you go straight to a basic walk-in salon, like that's what is just seeing what you're doing. And I've never worked in a walk-in salon because I never saw the value in it for me, like to learn, because they weren't doing what I wanted to focus on anyways. So being able to create that space where it's not only just a salon, but it's also like a good group that's mentored and supported, that they can be just as successful as me one day, and work up from commission to owning your own studio to bringing on other people. So I just don't want to gatekeep anything. I want them all to have it because there's room for all of us to be just as successful. There's enough clients for everybody. There's always going to be people that want their nails done. Even during COVID, people wanted their nails done. So there's no reason to gatekeep and be like, no, you need to figure it out yourself. Like, I'm willing to teach if you're willing to learn.
Absolutely. Now, what do you think are some things that nail artists don't consider when owning a nail salon or nail studio?
Just the amount of work. I mean, it's like 24/7. Even if you're just working by yourself and you're still running your own like location, studio, whatever. A lot of people don't realize the marketing part and like the social media part. Like, oh yeah, you think it's just taking a picture and posting it. It's like there's so much more that goes into it, and it is very time consuming. because a lot of people can be really good at what they do, but like be scared to talk to people and like pass out business cards. And like even in nail school, I was posting on Facebook Marketplace and all the groups on Facebook. I handed out little business cards that said I was a student. So you have to be like entrepreneur. You have to have the entrepreneur hustle mindset, because it is a hustle. Even if you're working in a walk-in salon, like if you can sit there and wait for clients to walk through the door or wait for them to get you clients, but if you're doing that work on your own too and marketing yourself, like that's a big thing. And then just further educating, because like products are always changing.
Right.
Trends are changing, and then you see unhealthy trends like airbrushing gel polish, but it's like people don't know that they're not like good, but it's like, okay, you need to always take in like, okay, yeah, this is a trend, but let me do my own research. Let me make sure this is like an okay thing to do on a client and stuff like that. So it's just like not, it's just always learning, always learning. Even now, like I'm still learning. So I'm like, as long as you just don't think you know everything, because the world, like the industry changes, you just have to keep up with it and do your own research and look at, you know, the marketing and just the further education and all that kind of stuff.
So you offer different nail courses ranging from sculpted acrylic to character art. So talk to us more about those nail courses and what do the students learn in those courses?
So in the sculpted acrylic class, we go over how to do like extensions, but with the forms without using tips, which they kind of teach you in school, but they teach you how to do one finger so you can pass state board. Like you don't have clients coming in getting full sets of sculpted nails. And a lot of people don't even know what they are. So I really go over how to do that, because it needs to be a separate class, because of the way you're working with acrylic with sculpted nails versus tips is completely different. Like the way you want the bead to form, how fast, how thick you want it, like is so different. Like one of my nail techs right now, she's been doing tips and she's just transitioned to sculpted nails. And so every time we do a class, it's always me like showing, like unteaching the tips. So a lot of people think you need to learn tips first and then sculpted nails, but honestly, just doing sculpted nails from get-go, you'll learn it a lot faster. So we go over like how to structure the nail, the apex, doing art with the acrylic as well on top of a form, like marble and ombre and stuff like that. So we basically break everything down to how they need to structure the nail, how they need to prep the nail, how to shape the nail, how to do different shapes, and just problem solving as well. What I love about sculpted nails that I like to teach is that even with nail biters that have barely any nail on there, if they have extended hyponychium, like I love that you can customize the form to really fit every nail bed. So I always try to like teach that it is easier to use with people that have like crooked fingers. You can make them look straight. With a tip, you can't really do that. So there's a lot more benefits. And so I really like to go over literally from how to prep the nail to how to problem solve on the client and really get what they need out of the service.
Absolutely. Yes. So I want to get into the nail services. So tell us about some of the nail services you offer at your salon.
So we do sculpted acrylic, and we also do sculpted hard gel. And then we also do gel extensions, like the full cover tip Gel X. We also do structured manicures with builder in a bottle. And then we do pedicures as well.
Yeah, it's really, really amazing.
And then, of course, nail art. Lots of nail options.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Now, what's your perspective on the importance of setting policies and boundaries? Now, have you ever experienced like with a client, you know, that broke your boundaries? And if so, how did you handle it?
You know, it can be so hard as a nail tech because, you know, everybody talks to each other. It's like their little therapy session. So it can feel like it's more than just a business relationship. So I think at the end of the day, that's okay. Like it's okay to have like good. I've met great friends that started out as clients, but at the end of the day, if it starts to muddy what you've already set, like every nail tech should have policies. Like should have some sort of policy. It's not always going to be the same for every nail tech, but it should be like what you at least minimum what you should get from the client. And even if they are great friends, like you still got to charge that late fee, you know, like if they start getting late and stuff like that. So it's like, you have to I'm very black and white at the end of the day. So I'm like, look, you know, I love you, but you've been late a couple times, so don't make me charge that deposit because I will.
Right. Yeah.
So you just have to be like willing to just put your foot down when it starts
Mhm.
crossing that line of like, okay, this is maybe the first time, okay, she's been coming to me for a while, but like you have to understand at the end of the day, it's a business. Even
Right.
if you enjoy it, and which we all do. So even if because you're having fun, still means you at least get that minimum standard from your client
Right.
for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to definitely switch gears and talk about nail art products. So, what has been like your favorite nail art products and nail art brushes in regards to creating nail art?
So like brands.
Hmm.
Okay, so I use a lot of Nails by Dev products.
Okay.
And I would say Valentino or now V Beauty Pure. Sorry, they just changed their name, but V Beauty Pure. But Nails by
Yeah.
Deb is like my favorite brand for brushes and gel products as well. They have.
Hmm.
I started using her brushes when she first dropped her first brush collection, and I think I was still in nail school. It was a couple years ago,
Hmm.
and ever since then, it literally changed my nail art game. Like good products can make the hugest difference in your nail art because if you're using runny colors that don't really have a lot of pigment and you're going over them a
Right.
lot, your design's going to come out chunkier. And if you're using brushes from Amazon, like they seem like they're working, but that just they
Hmm.
don't do what you want them to do. So I love that her brushes literally do what you want them to do and they bend and they don't skip over the brush and they hold product well and they stay great for years if you keep them nice. And her gel products are just amazing for art as well.
I think like certain brands in terms of Amazon, like Modelins,
Yeah.
their brushes are pretty good. Beetles
Yeah.
is pretty good. So yeah, so there are certain brands on
Yes,
Amazon that you
and you
can
can
get.
get away with cheaper stuff if it just depends on the level of art you're doing. So like if you
Right.
start getting into like character art and stuff like that, if you don't have pigment like or like fine brushes to really get those thin crisp lines, that's where it becomes more difficult. But of
Hmm.
course, everybody starts with stuff from Amazon and you can definitely get away with it. I just think when you start getting into like more advanced art and then you try like not more expensive, but just high quality name brand products, you definitely see the difference for sure. Because all
Hmm.
the girls that have started with me, I all got them buying Dove brushes. And they're like, oh my goodness, like this makes things so much easier. But yeah, you can definitely get away with some stuff for sure, for sure.
Hmm. And also too, there are like some brands that have like that highly pigmentation in terms of their
Yeah.
gels. What I
Yes.
like also too is like the some of the Korean gel products. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Especially like the syrup gels. The syrup gels are pretty
Yes.
good and things like that. So
There's a
there are
lot.
some
There's so much. There's so
yeah.
many different types of gel. Like there's
Mhm.
hard gel. Then you have now they have like mold, like they call it 4D gel. I mean, Dev, like she had Nails by Dev, she has her own called Trippy gel, and it's like basically it's like Play-Doh. You can mold whatever you want, but with your hands, and then it doesn't dry until you put it under the lamp. So you can make your own nail charms. You can make 3D, 4D characters on top of the nail. Like there's so much to play with out there. It's crazy, and they keep coming out with more and more stuff.
Yeah, like there's so many products out there. It's just
There's
really
so many
crazy.
products.
Foam powders and everything.
Right. There's literally like there's liquid chrome now, like there's
Right.
powdered chrome, like it's
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah. It's so fun though, because that's what makes the
Mhm.
job so fun is that it's not always the same. It's not monotonous. It's not me painting red nails every day. Like there's so much out there to explore.
Mhm. What are some like your favorite products for gel and acrylic like enhancements?
For hard gel, I like Young Nails or V Beauty Pure.
Mhm.
I try to like go also when I'm picking good products, I like to go off of the retention as well. So
Mhm.
everything I try to test on myself first to see how long of a wear I can get out of it. Most of my clients, I only like to see them once a month.
Mhm.
So anytime I'm picking gel products, I definitely try to test them first. And
Mhm.
then what I really like about Young Nails is it's good for beginners because they have different gels with different viscosities. So you can get a thicker gel so
Mhm.
that you have a little more time to work with it than a runnier one, which is really hard for beginners. So I like that
Mhm.
they have like, something you can work up to, but also beginner friendly. And
Mhm.
then Valentino, I think, is just pretty consistent for me with all of their products. So
Mhm.
I also like that they have so many, different color options and they have good quality stuff and I like getting the most
Mhm.
wear out of the product, so
Mhm.
but also cost effective as well. Try to be. Some
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
good stuff though is expensive, and you can't help it.
Now, in regards to the nail industry, what are some things that you like about the industry, and what are some things you think the nail industry could be improved on?
What I love about the industry is that it's such a loving community.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can connect with so many people just based on it. Like I've made so many friends like through the Nails by Deb because I'm also on the Nails by Deb team. So I have, some influencers and we have a group chat and it's cool because you get in such your little bubble of just clients working. And
Mm-hmm.
I swear most of us don't have a social life, but we get to connect with each other and in a shared love that we have for nails. And so
Mm-hmm.
I really love that part about the industry is that it
Mm-hmm.
does have a good community.
Mm-hmm.
I think what it could work on is I just feel like we don't get respected about our pricing.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
that is always something to improve on. And, I
Right.
think even from a client standpoint, like most of my clients, they were getting cheaper nails and they see firsthand like what their money can pay for and the quality and just the designs and all the
Mm-hmm.
options is just completely different. But yeah, it's hard to see people being like, oh, I wish nails were still $20. Like your hair didn't cost $20.
Exactly.
And I know you got your lips did too. So like, but why are we getting dogged on our prices? And then it makes nail techs not price their worth.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's like we also have to, make a living and we do take a lot of time that we like a lot of the work is not paid. Like setting up,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning, buying products, like organizing, all that kind of stuff. We have to buy a lot of product
Right.
compared to like an esthetician or a hairstylist. Like we have 50
Mm-hmm.
different colors of rhinestones. We have 1,000 stickers. We have 50 powders and like
Right.
200 gel polishes. Like it's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
investment. And
Yeah.
so the respect will come. We will get that respect. But it's just, that's the one part I really don't like about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the thing too. I think people are so acclimated, and this is not everybody, but
Right.
it's some people that are just so acclimated 20 to 40 to $50 nails. Like,
Right.
and I'm glad that with our industry now, people more getting into like, hey, these cost over $100. Because, like you said, they don't consider the quality of products. They don't consider how long it takes to do the nail art in terms of the
Right.
nail prep. Those things are taken into consideration, so that way your nails last longer and you have the ability to come back.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, but are you happy every time you go? No, you always are complaining about it. So it's like
Right.
if you're happy and you're smiling, like and you love what you have on your nails, when you leave, that's usually like most of my clients that I get are not happy when they leave the salon. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you what you want. I'm giving you something that you find on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
hand painted. And it's like, yeah, all the hours you put in to get to that point of being able to
Mm-hmm.
do those kind of designs, like it's not just a stamp. You know what I mean? If you're hand
Right.
painting stuff, you need to charge more. And a lot of nail
Mm-hmm.
techs don't even think about charging for the technique. Like if you're the only person in town that airbrushes nails, you can charge more for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're specializing, charge more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Now, how have you been able to balance in regards to like being a nail artist with mental and physical health?
whew, I'm still learning how to deal with that. No, it comes down to knowing when to unplug and
Mm-hmm.
knowing when to recharge.
Right.
Like, I think it's really hard for me, like even when I come home and it's like, especially after a client day, if I did clients, and usually I work back to back 8 to 10 hour days. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to come home and then I have messages to respond to from my page. And now I have the studio page to respond to,
Right.
making content for both pages. And there's a lot. So you just days
Mm-hmm.
I just leave my phone in the purse when I sit it on the counter and I don't touch it until I go to bed. Like you
Right.
just have to like give yourself a break and tell yourself
Mm-hmm.
no, because it's
Right.
really hard, especially like if you're a business owner and like Walmart, for instance, they're not the ones answering the phone when they go home. You know what I mean? They have customer service, but we're doing all the jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to be like, you know what? It's after 5. I'm not answering the message.
Mm-hmm.
See it in the morning. They'll get their answer. Like it's okay, just because it's on your phone and you see it. Like
Mm-hmm.
give yourself that break. Give yourself that personal life break. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
sometime, and most times I'm still working when I come home, but
Mm-hmm.
you can't drive yourself crazy into exhaustion, because that, like, being exhausted, it sucks, and burnt out, and being burnt out, and then
Mhm.
you stop enjoying doing nails. And so it is a big part of
Mhm.
everything, really.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, how important is practicing integrity in the nail industry?
You have to really I'm like spacing right now. Sorry.
It's all good.
You just really have to, like, set yourself a standard. Like, I think when I first became a nail tech, I was a little worried, like, okay, I've never been my own boss. Like, am I actually going to get up and get to work, and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
if you look at your business as, like, you just have to have pride in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you have pride in it, then you're going to care more, and then you're going to do the things that you need to do. Like,
Right.
I see a lot of people, they cancel appointments all the time because it's like, oh, they make their schedule so they can really do what they want to do. And it's like, no, if you set
Mhm.
a standard, you'll see it in your success. If you have
Right.
clients that stuck with you for years and you have a full book, like, obviously you're doing
Mhm.
something right. So just taking pride in
Absolutely.
your work, being consistent, and making sure that we are in the service industry at the end of the day. So your client should be happy too. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I think some people do forget that, like, oh, I'm making money, like, I'm getting them out of
Right.
my chair, whatever. It's like, no, they're there for the experience, and you're trying to do something different, and just having pride in your work, and not just being slack. A lot of clients, or I've heard a lot of people that come to me from other nail techs too, where they were doing good work at first, but then they got comfortable and started slacking, and then they weren't getting as good
Mhm.
quality nails. And it's like, no,
Right.
I've always been very, like, I could be picking up trash on the side of the road. I will have the most in the bag at the end of the day. Like, it no matter what I'm doing, I'm going to be the best at it. That's
Mhm.
just how I've always been. I think that's for my
Right.
dad, watching him work so hard, but I've just always been that way. I've been prideful, and no matter what I do. So you just
Right.
have integrity if you want to be successful.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Now, if you had a top 5 list of your favorite nail artists, who would they be and why?
Top 5 nail artists. Ooh, okay. Well, okay. First off, Dev from Nails by
Mhm.
Dev. She literally inspired me from the beginning of getting into character art, and really, she, like, sparked me wanting to be a nail artist, because I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, they do art now. Like, they be doing art. I was like, that's
Mhm.
cool. So she's been such a big inspiration, and I've been following her and watching her go from having a studio to now being a content creator and having a whole brand. Like, that's
Mhm.
so inspiring, and she's always been super supportive. Number two would definitely be Maddox, or other known as Ball Pit Addict.
Mhm.
She is also insane. Like, yeah. I mean, they do the most insane things that I could not even possibly think of, and I love that she pushes the boundaries, because then it's like,
Mhm.
oh, if she can do that, like, what could I come up with? You know what I mean? Like, she's definitely very,
Mhm.
surprising, and I love that
Mhm.
about her, and I love her
Right.
humor. Okay, third one. Five? Okay.
Yes.
Third one would probably have to be Vivian. She owns Pamper Academy.
Yeah, Pamper Nail Gallery, Viv
Yes,
Shi?
yes.
Yeah.
So I took one of her classes too, like a year ago, for her portrait classes. Yeah, she's insane. Like, I love seeing her literally create, like, picture perfect scenes. Like, I
Mhm.
don't know how she does the smallest nails and has, like, a
Right.
whole Cinderella scene, and, like, the special effects that she does with, like, the glow in the dark and then the color changing. I'm like, you're like a mad
Right.
scientist on nails. Like, it's anything that's, like, I can't do, I'm, like, in awe of. So I'm like, you're like my idol for
Yeah,
sure.
her work is really cool.
Yes. Okay, so that was three. Oh my goodness. Five. Okay, I'm, like, trying to, like, look too. Because there's so many. It's hard to narrow it down.
Right.
Okay. Of course, Chon Legend. Come on.
Mhm.
He is such a goat. Such a goat.
Yeah, he's very talented.
He, like, literally starts nail trends. So, and I love my goal one day, I'm gonna put it in the universe, is to be a celebrity nail tech. So I definitely watch him a lot. And I
Mhm.
love watching how he interacts with his clients and stuff. But yeah, he's definitely a big inspiration, because I definitely see myself going that way eventually.
Right.
So he's
Mhm.
definitely a huge inspiration. Votino is another one because he
Yes,
just,
Novo.
oh my gosh, he's so funny. He literally cracks me up. And literally every day people send me his stuff and I'm just like, yep, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like what can he not create, honestly? And I love his use of different textures and chrome and hard gel and all that kind of stuff to see what he creates. But I love their personalities too. Their personalities get me so much. Right? Is that 5?
Yeah, that was 5.
Okay.
That was 5. Now, how would you define beauty?
Me personally, I think beauty is a feeling, I think. I think beauty is a feeling because beauty is the eye of the beholder, right? So it's different for everybody, but I think the common thing about beauty is when you feel it, it's a feeling. Like if you look beautiful, you feel beautiful most of the
Right.
time. So I think the beauty definitely comes from the inside. If you're a beautiful person, like that will show. If you're not pretty is as pretty does. So I think beauty is not only a look, but it's also a vibe. It's
Right.
your energy. Like it's connected to so many different things more than just looks.
Yeah, absolutely. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media? How can people support you and your business?
So you guys can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. It's all at True Artist Nails. And if you guys want to follow our studio page, it's at True Artist Studio. You guys can see my other nail techs who do character dope art as well. But yes, it's all at True Artist Nails on everything.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Maria, for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so
I
much.
love what you're doing. I had a very great conversation with you. Just keep doing what you're doing and keep inspiring other nail artists to really, be themselves and to really, soar into their artistry. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Pleasure.
absolutely. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye-bye.